Hey book huggers, this is Jen, and it's fall! Okay, you guys, the reason I'm being ridiculous is that fall is my favorite season, and it has been my entire life. I know it's kind of a cliche these days to be in love with fall and pumpkin spice whatever and blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care that it's a cliche because I have loved fall my entire life. And it's been really warm in the Pacific Northwest this season, and so this past week has really started to feel like fall. And that's when I saw the Fall Time Cozy Time tag on Between Chapters, and I will link to that channel below, and decided that I had to participate because it's basically a tag that was meant for me. So I was not tagged in that video, but I'm going to participate anyway. This tag was started by Novels and Nonsense, and I will also link to the original down in the bookshelf. So let's get started! The first question is Crunching Leaves. The world is full of color. Choose a book that has reds, oranges, or yellows on the cover. And for this one, I chose The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. I know I've talked about this before in another video, but it's one of my favorite books and it's perfect for this question. It has so many beautiful fall colors on the cover, and it's kind of a wonderful fall book in general. It's a fairy tale. It's just, you sink into this book. The language is so beautiful, and I highly encourage you all to read it this season. The second question is Cozy Sweater. It's finally cool enough to don warm, cozy clothing. What book gives you the warm fuzzies? For this one, I picked Fangirl by Rowell. I love this book. And I love this book because aside from Kath's father being the way he is, and the fact that she has a twin sister, and the fact that she had a boyfriend her freshman year, I am Kath. I would have stayed in my room every minute of every day. I was terrified. I'm pretty introverted, and until I read this story, I hadn't seen introversion written so well and so believably. And so that's why I connected so much with the main character, Kath. And it starts in the fall, it's set in a university, and it's just gives me the warm fuzzies. It does. Love it. You can tell how much I love it because it's like, well, maybe you can't, but it's like all yellowed and beaten up because I read it a couple of times and I've given it to every teenager that I know, basically, and they have read it and given it back to me, and it's very well loved. The next question is Fall Storm. The wind is howling and the rain is pounding. Choose your favorite book or genre that you like to read on a stormy day. For this one, I don't particularly have a specific book or genre that I like to read on a stormy day, but in the fall when it starts to get grayish and the leaves are falling and it's just kind of overcast, what I love to read are books set in England. I have no idea. They don't have to be set in the fall in England. They just, I don't know. The overcast skies that we have in the fall in this part of the world are just, I don't know, it just takes me back to the times that I've been to England and been to London, and so I like to read books set there. The one that I picked to highlight is I Capture the Castle, a novel by Dodie Smith. This is possibly the oldest version of it known to man. It's what we had in the library. I have my own copy of this that has a much better cover, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I need to track that one down. It's about a girl who lives with her family in a falling down, crumbling castle in the English countryside, and just the things that happen with her family. It's kind of a quiet, sort of romantic story. It's just delightful. I just love it. It has one of my favorite opening sentences, which is, I write this sitting in the kitchen sink. That is, my feet are in it. The rest of me is on the draining board, which I have padded with our dog's blanket and the tea cozy. I can't say that I'm really comfortable, and there is a depressing smell of carbolic soap, but this is the only part of the kitchen where there is any daylight left, and I have found that sitting in a place where you have never sat before can be inspiring. Anyway, I Capture the Castle is exactly the kind of book that I like to read this time of year. Next question is cool, crisp air. What's the coolest character you'd want to trade places with? For that, I would have to say Kamala Khan in Ms. Marvel. Because, hello, she's amazing. She says embiggen, and she can get bigger and pound her foes. She has all these cool healing properties. That's what I'd really love. Healing properties. I think that would be awesome. She has this real need to help her community and help other people. And one of my favorite things about Ms. Marvel, if you haven't read it, is that Kamala Khan is a Marvel fangirl. And so when she runs into all of these characters that like Wolverine, that she's seen and read about in the Marvel comics, she fangirls like nobody's business. And I know that I would be exactly like that. Because I too am a Marvel fangirl, and I think that I would react exactly like that if I somehow became a superhero and was working with the people that I'd been reading about all this time. If you have not read Ms. Marvel, please get on that, because it's amazing. Next is hot apple cider. What underhyped book do you want to see become the next biggest, hottest thing? And this is a book that I haven't seen a ton of stuff about on BookTube or even really anywhere else. Maybe that's because I've missed it, and if that's the case, I'm sorry. But the one I picked for this is Because You'll Never Meet Me by Leah Thomas. It's a story about a boy who is completely allergic to electricity in all forms, all kinds of electricity. He's terribly allergic to it. And he starts writing, like, actual letters to a boy who lives in Germany and has a pacemaker and also no eyes. So because Moritz, who lives in Germany, has the pacemaker, he and Ollie, the one who's allergic to electricity, will never be able to meet. I can't tell you too much about what happens in this book because I want you to go into it not knowing all that much. I mean, the premise that I've already told you is enough. But it was an amazing story, the way that the author dealt with it, and, you know, you go back and forth between the two boys and their stories, and how they get around, and how they have relationships with people, and then surprises. It's so good, and I think everybody should read it, and I think it should be the next big thing in the world. That's my story. Next question is coats, scarves, and mittens. The weather has turned cold and it's time to cover up. What's the most embarrassing book cover you own that you like to keep hidden in public? I don't really have a lot of problems with any book covers, really. I was trying to think. There's not a lot of covers that I would be embarrassed to have in the world, because books are books and get over it. But I went through all of my shelves, and probably the most embarrassing book I have on my shelf, which isn't really that embarrassing, and I would probably take this anywhere, whatever, is A Million Miles Away. I don't even remember anything about this book or where I got it or how it ended up on my shelves, but it is the pinkest pink I've ever seen in my life. And I do enjoy pink, don't get me wrong. But this is like neon pink. And I don't know, I just feel like people literally a mile away could probably read this if I had it in public. But to be honest, I'm not that embarrassed and I would totally read this in public. The next question is pumpkin spice. What's your favorite fall time comfort food or foods? Oh my goodness. Pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. I'm not a big pumpkin spice latte person. I don't have to have pumpkin in everything, but pumpkin pie is my favoriteest thing in the fall and maybe in the world. Also toast. For some reason in the fall, I have to have toast all the time. All the breads in the world with butter on them. Yes, please. That's what I want. That's the answer to that question. And the last question is warm, cozy bonfire. Spread the cozy warmth. Who do you tag? For this, I'm going to tag Jordan at Little Llama Books. I'm going to tag Anna at Anna Taylor and Ashley at Downright Bookish because I find all of them delightful and I hope they are having a fantastic fall. And I hope you are having a fantastic fall. Thanks for watching. Bookish hugs and kisses, and I will see you next time. Bye! I hope you are having a fantastic fall wherever you are. I guess wherever you are is weird because some of you are not having fall, some of you are having spring, so whatever, ignore me.